Proverbs chapter 16 talks about how we as humans can make plans, but God ultimately determines the outcome of those plans. He determines what happens in our lives, the outcome of our lives. It also continues in this chapter the contrasting style of writing. Specifically, it contrasts the righteous way of living from the wicked way of living. The main themes of this chapter are humility, justice, wise speech, and God's judgment, and God's sovereign control over all of life. But I mentioned how we can make plans, but God is in control. It says in verse 1, "The plans of the heart belong to man, but the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All the ways of a man are pure in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirit." So he's the ultimate judge of what is truly righteous and what is wicked. Verse 3 tells us what we can ultimately do to have the best outcome. It says, "Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established. The Lord has made everything for its purpose, even the wicked for the day of trouble." So even the wicked have a purpose here on earth. It tells us that the Lord detests the proud, that humility leads to mercy from God and life. It tells us that it's better to have very little while living a righteous life than to have great wealth while living an unrighteous life. Verses 21 through 24 talk more about speech. It says, "The wise of heart is called discerning, and sweetness of speech increases persuasiveness. Good sense is a fountain of life to him who has it, but the instruction of fools is folly. The heart of the wise makes his speech judicious and adds persuasiveness to his lips. Gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the body." It warns us against being violent. It says, "A man of violence entices his neighbor and leads him in a way that is not good.